Hey guys, Project Reaper here. Thanks for watching, and today we're going to talk about the talent called Hardened Focus. This talent is primarily available to support classes, and there are 4 heroes in the game that can use it right now. 3 of them are supports, and then there's actually 1 specialist who have this. They are all offered it at tier 6, which is level 16. And the 3 heroes that are support, you're going to have Brightwing, Malfurion, and UTHER. And then for the specialist, it is Nazebo. So those are the 4 heroes right now that have this ability. However, it could be added to heroes in the future. Probably not ones we have already, but possibly new heroes, since they tend to add a new hero every 3 weeks or so. If they do add Hardened Focus to another hero, I would expect it'll probably be a support. And there is a reason that I say that, and I'll get into that later. If it's not a support, I imagine that they'll probably have a self-heal somewhere in their kit, so that they can do build to maintain that 80%. But there is a very common misconception about how this power works, so I want to talk to you guys about that first, and then I'll get into when you would actually use this power, as although it is really good, it's also very situational, and the situations that you're going to run into where you actually need this, they're going to be pretty slim. If you were playing a support every single game in Quick Match, probably less than 20% of the time would you need to do a build like this. But, 20% of the time is still, a fifth, and if you're going to run into it even that much, it's worth understanding that you can tweak your talents to have a Hardened Focus build, and if you do it right in the right situation, it will be amazing and it will excel. So I'll get into that in a moment, but first I want to explain the misconception. So what it does is, while above 80% of your life, your basic abilities, so that's going to mean Q, W, and E. It does not affect your trait, guys, just your Q, W, and E, okay? And they'll regenerate 50% faster. So what a lot of people confuse is this 50% faster and the word regenerate. It's really not clear. In fact, there's actually some posts from Blizzard where they realize it's not clear, so we might see this reworded in a future patch. But for now, I can just go over it for you guys so that you'll understand what's happening here. So the 50% faster does not mean that it is cutting these in half. It's not taking 50% of the duration off, alright? So this is a 6-second cooldown, then a 15-second on Polymorph, and a 10 on Pixie Dust, okay? So if it were cutting it in half, then that would drop this to 3 seconds. But that's not what it's doing. It's actually... Oh, let's jump here, okay? So normally your spells cool down at 100%. So for Arcane, 100% of its normal cooldown speed would be 6 seconds. And Hardened Focus is going to increase that by 50% for a total of 150%. So basically what's happening is everything's cooling down 1.5 times faster, not 2 times faster. You're not taking 6 seconds and cutting it in half. You're taking 6 seconds and adding 50% to it. So that's a common misconception that I see a lot of players make, and then they think that the power isn't working, but it is working. So this would be a 4-second cooldown, this would be a 10-second cooldown because it's taking off a third, and this one would be a fraction there, but it would take off a third, so like 3 and 3.3 seconds about. So another thing is, when people see it, because it can fluctuate if you go under 80%, there's not a clear change to this, but I have tested it. I've used a stopwatch and everything. That did cool down in 10 seconds rather than the 15. This is actually counting down faster because my health is higher, right? So that's what you need to know about how it works. It's not quite as potent as you may think, but it is still quite useful in the right situations. And then again, these are the 4 heroes that have it currently: Brightwing, MALF, UTHER, and then Nazebo's the specialist. So let's talk about when this would be the most beneficial. And that's going to be in a composition where you have 2 healers or more. I don't think Quick Match would ever give you more than 2 healers, but if you have 2 healers and you lack assassins, so like let's say you have 2 warriors, 2 healers, and a specialist, or 2 specialists, 2 healers, and a warrior, and it's a low damage warrior, low damage specialist, and you guys know right off the bat, like, people would immediately say something, oh, this is a low damage team. So because you have 2 healers, it's going to be pretty easy for you as a healer to stay at high health, especially as a healer who heals yourself and others automatically with your trait. Or like with Uther, how you can shoot your heal, and the way that MALF just stays in the back generally, he's typically at higher health. So the other thing is even if you do get singled out and targeted, you don't have to worry about healing yourself so much, because you have another healer who can get you healed as well. And because you have the twin healers, keeping each other at above 80% health is not that difficult, and then you can actually produce heals about a third as quickly, 1.5 times faster, because you're both using Hardened Focus. But on top of that, whatever damage spell you have, you can pump that out a third times faster. You can use your disable, every 10 seconds instead of every 15, and that's crucial. That makes a huge difference. So like, I just want to give you guys an example. I play Brightwing a lot. Brightwing's probably my main support. She's not the best on every map. She's not the best against every hero. She is very situational, but I still love her, and I like to tweak her build to suit the needs of the team. I do a lot of quick match because I don't have a lot of faith in the ranked system at this time. So at level 1, if you were doing, so the other thing is there's a ton of variation, and I don't want to go too much into Brightwing because this is actually about Hardened Focus, but I just want to show you guys the synergy that can be had with Hardened Focus. And Brightwing has really good synergy with Hardened Focus when you do it properly. So Unfurling Spray or Bribe, either of these would be fine with the current build. I just took Unfurling Spray because it wasn't the number 1. It really wouldn't matter. In fact, Bribe would probably be better. Now, if you're trying to round out damage, Unstable Anomaly is probably the go-to, especially since you'll be able to cast it faster, 10 seconds instead of 15, and that extra damage that it adds splashing around. Plus, if you take Bribe here at level 1, it'll help with your lane pushing, so good synergy right there. And then good synergy later with the Hardened Focus by adding damage to a spell that doesn't normally do damage. Okay, now Mystified is going to be key here for this Hardened Focus build. Every time you use a basic ability, and again, that's what's cooling down faster. Every time you use a basic ability, it's going to cool down your trait. So that right there, you've got some really key synergy. You're going to be healing a lot more, meaning that you're going to be keeping your second healer, whether it be Uther, or the other thing is your second healer does not need to be a Hardened Focus healer. It doesn't need to be MALF or Uther. It just needs to be a healer, and if it, except Tehran, because her heals kind of suck. But maybe, I mean, if you need to round out the damage, you can always do a Dream Shot build and not use Hardened Focus. Go watch my Brightwing video if you want more details on how to do that. I'll put a link here for the Brightwing video. But I hope you guys can see the synergy I'm going for here with the Hardened Focus with the Mystified, because you're going to pump out a lot more heals. And then I'm actually going to jump to level 20 since it has to do with what I'm talking about right now. Since you're pumping out a lot more heals and faster, taking Revitalizing Mists will allow you to stack those heals up even faster and just keep everybody at high health. And it's amazing. And it keeps you at high, well, Revitalizing Mist does not work on Brightwing. It only works for allies. But this combination of Mystified and Hardened Focus will put Brightwing back at high health quite quickly. And then taking Sticky Flare, this is also situational. The other option would definitely be ability damage, and you might need ability damage if they have a composition with high damage, with high burst damage, with good spell damage assassins or ability damage assassins, then definitely take Shield Dust, which you can use more frequently. But if not, Sticky Flare is gonna, it's a 40% slow, which is pretty substantial for 2 seconds. It really helps close kills, and since you're gonna be able to use it every 4 seconds, it's gonna be up 50% of the time as long as you're landing it. What I mean by that is, in a 4-second duration, half of that time, 2 of those seconds, the enemy will be slowed, and then the other half the time they won't be slowed. But the slow will help your team that has a lack of damage secure kills that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get. So that's the rundown on Hardened Focus. You can use it as a single healer if you're gonna stay in the back, but I don't recommend it. I really feel like the entire design of this power, and the only way you can justify taking a tier 6 talent, which tier 6 is one of the most important talents that you'll have since it's so late in the game. These are the most powerful. Not that guys, sorry, I was looking at tier 5 right there. These ones right here, these are the most powerful Brightwing, well, basic buffs, right? And this one, it's only gonna be active a lot of the time if you have 2 healers. If you're gonna be under 80% of the 80% health a lot of the time, then this isn't going to be fruitful. This is going to be a waste. You could make a lot more use out of something like one of these other ones, unless you've got the twin healers. Twin healers and Hardened Focus together, voila, it's beautiful. You'll love it. Try it out, guys. And thanks for watching again. I hope you liked. If you did, hit that like button, as I appreciate that. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to be cranking out a bunch of them, so please subscribe. Thanks again, and have yourselves a great day. I just want to thank you guys again for watching. I really hope you liked and found the video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button at the bottom, as that helps me. But also, if you have any friends who you think would find this information helpful, I appreciate any shares or directing your friends to my channel. Speaking of which, if you like the channel and you want to see more videos from me, you can hit right here, and that will subscribe you to my channel. And then also over here are some other videos that I've made regarding some video game stuff. So hopefully you find all that as informational as you found this. I hope to see you guys next time, and have yourself a great day.